So, Jason, are you after yesterday? When is your national championship ring coming in?
Well, I knew I'd get that question. I'll say this. I've always felt like we was a champion. Like I said, that year was a special year with special talent. 4 first-round draft picks off that team. Guys that played in the league a long time. Like I tell everybody, USC had a great team that year. Oklahoma had a good team that year as well. So did we did. So does us. But it's unfortunate that you got left out the game. You go against one of the toughest conferences. You don't get a chance to compete for the national championship. I say it's kind of hard to be punished for something that you didn't do. But we did everything we were supposed to do to have an opportunity to play in that game. And it's hard to say who would have won the game and this and that. You see some people say, oh, Auburn could have won it or USC could have won it. And a lot of people, based off what happened the years before we played them, I said, man, every year is different. And I said, you can't compare a junior year to our senior year because we had a different offense coordinator. Our junior year, our coordinator, no one on staff on the offense side had ever been a coordinator. So it was learned by experience every game. Then you bring in an experienced guy, then he knows how to utilize everybody's abilities and talents. And all of a sudden, you light the scoreboard along with a top 5 defense. So, I said, how many people would have said the Giants would have beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl twice with Tom Brady?
Yep.
I said, that's why you play the game. I said, so you don't know what would have happened in the game because we didn't get a chance to play it. So we've always felt like we was champions at the end of the day. But like I said, everyone's going to have certain feelings about it. Like I said, Auburn has always kind of hid some of their great history of great teams in the past. But I think now they're just shining more light on the teams in the past that have been great teams and everything. And I think they just want people to know the rich tradition of winning at this school because the last couple of years, it hadn't been a winning tradition.
Mm-hmm.
The last couple of years, it's been rough. If you was a 7th grader, you haven't seen Auburn win more than 6 games since 2020. So and it also just understands like, hey, there's been some great teams. There's been some great players. Cam Newton was great. Bo Jackson was great. But there's been some other great players that's come through this university and just haven't been recognized probably as the way we should have been. But now this just kind of shines a light on it. And there's been some backlash from people. But honestly, Auburn just doing what every school across the nation has done that based on the rules and regulations of what you can claim as your champion. They're now just coming forth with it instead of just kind of sitting behind the scenes with it. So, people can take it as they want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the way I felt about our 2014.